Hello children, welcome to Samveda e-learning program. All 8th standard students are waiting for this mathematics class, right? In this session, we would be learning the chapter linear equations in one variable, which is a very interesting chapter. Not only that, it has high application value in your mathematics. Okay, shall we start? Here is a boy, Raju. He has some fruits in a basket and he is posing a question for you. If you add 20 more fruits to it, the sum will be 100. That is his question. Now, what he is asking you is, what is the number of fruits in this basket? You're all thinking, right? Yes, of course. It should be 80 so that the sum will be 100, right? Oh, there is a girl, Radha, and this girl has a bag with money in it, and she's going to divide the money into two people, and each one would be getting 1000 rupees. So what should be the amount in that bag? Yes, you're all thinking it right. It should be 2000 so that each gets 1000 rupees. Right, children? In both the cases, what we did is we thought of some equation so that we just coined out what is there in the bag and what is the number of fruits in the basket. So here we started thinking about linear equations in one variable. Isn't it interesting? Yes. Now, what is variable? Variable is something that you do not know and you represent it by the letters A, B, X, Y, M, K and so on. Now, what are equations? This is what we are going to learn in this chapter. So, shall we continue? Now, I'll take this example. We'll just consider I'm adding 5 to 3. Isn't it very easy? We'll just write 5 plus 3. This is a numerical expression and we know the perfect value of this, right? Now, we'll take one more example. A number is added to 3. What is that number? I don't know. So, I'll just write it as x plus 3. So, it's an algebraic expression. Now, x can be anything because I do not know what the number is. Therefore, I take it as x and x can assume any value. Now, if I take another example, a number is added to 3 and the sum is 7. Here I am giving a condition that the sum should be 7. So, how do I write it? I'll write it as x plus 3 is equal to 7, which is algebraic equation. We'll understand this with little more examples. There are two set of examples given here. In the first set, it is written as 5 is multiplied by a number and divided by 4. And then there is one more example, a plus 12, a number is added to 12. Whereas in the second set, 5 plus y is equal to 15. That is, 5 is added to y gives you 15. Observe both the sets clearly. In the first set, we do not know exact value of the unknown. There, the unknown can assume any value of its choice. Whereas, in the second set, the unknown what we have used should have a particular value because we have given a condition and we have used equal sign, and hence second set of examples are equations. Now we will define the meaning of equation. An equation is a statement of equality of two algebraic expressions involving one or more unknown quantities called variables. That is, we'll understand that by the example. Here is the equation. We have equated 7x minus 9 to 16. There is variable x taken and it is equated to 16. Let us take one more example. 7m square minus 9 is equal to 16 minus m. Here also we have equated 7m square minus 9 to 16 minus m. So, these are equations. Let us understand this further with little more examples. Here I have two set of examples. In the first set, it is 5 plus 5 is equal to 15. Now, observe y. And in the second example, it is x by 2 is equal to 12. There also you observe x. In both the cases, the highest power of the variable is 1 and hence both the equations are called as linear equations. Observe again, in both the cases, the highest power of the variable is 1 and hence they are called linear equations. One more interesting thing is, if you plot those two equations on a graph, you will be getting a straight line. Now 2y minus 3 is equal to 7. You know, there is a equal sign. Then in our problems, we will be writing LHS, RHS and so on, which you have been listening in your previous classes. We were using this in 6th and 7th also. So let us understand what it is. We have an equal sign. To left of it, 2y minus 3, it is called as left hand side and written as LHS. And to right of it is RHS and it is right hand side. Should there be a number only? No such rule. You can also have an expression like this. Now, whenever an equation is given, we start thinking, what is the value of y? So, here in this case, 2y minus 3 is equal to 7. So, most of you are already thinking, what should be the value of y? Yes. Oh, yeah. Some of you are already thinking, 10 minus 3 is 7 and therefore, 2 into 5 is equal to 10. And hence the value of y should be 5. Yes, you are all right. If you substitute 5 in place of y, the whole equation will become true and that value is known as solution of the equation. There is one more word used for the solution, it is root of the equation. Let us simply define what is the solution of the equation. Okay? Solution of the equation is set of values that when substituted for unknown make the equation true. That is, in the previous cases, if and only if you substitute 5, you will be getting a true value, otherwise you won't be. Then how many solutions does an equation has? This exactly depends on the power of the variable. Okay? So here what happens, you know, if the highest power is 1, in an equation, we call it as linear equation and certainly it should have only one solution. If the highest power is 2, it is called as quadratic equation and it should have 2 solutions. And if the highest power is 3, it is called as cubic equation and it should have 3 solutions. Likewise, if you go on increasing the power of the unknown, the number of solutions will also increase. So, if the highest power is n, then it should have n solutions. Then how do we find the solution of an equation? You have been learning this from 6th and 7th standard with both the methods, transpose method, balancing method. So, here we will just recall that with an activity. So, shall we do an activity now?
Dear children, in order to learn how to solve the equation, here I have a small model showing the physical balance. It is done by a cardboard. So, we shall learn the operations from this. You know, any physical balance will have 2 sides and in order to have a balance, you have to put equal weights, otherwise it will lose its balance, right? So, here what shall we do is, if I add 2 weights on the left hand side, in order to bring back the balance, I must have to add 2 weights on the other side too, so that I have a balance. Similarly, if I take out 1 weight from one side, in order to maintain the balance, I will have to take out the weight on the other side too. Then only you can have a perfect balance, right? So, we have done with 2 operations, addition and subtraction. Similarly, we will go for the other thing. Now, I have 3 weights on one side. So, I should be adding 3 weights on the other side also. Now, I have 4. I will make it 4. The 4 weights what we have can be divided into 2 groups, right? Now, 2 groups let me take. If I take out one group from one side, the physical balance loses its balance. So, I will have to take out another group also. Here I have a perfect balance. So, whether it is addition, subtraction multiplication and division, if I do it on one side, I should have to do it on either side of the equation to maintain the balance, that is the equal sign, right? Now, I am taking a bag. So, whenever I do not know what is there in that, I can represent it by a question mark. No, I do not want a question mark. I am a mathematics student. So, what shall I do? I will represent it by x. So, x is something I do not know. If I put 1x on one side of the balance, I should put x on the other side of the balance too. If I remove 1x from one side, I will have to remove x from the other side also. Similar to the numbers, even the literals should be added or subtracted or divided on either side of the balance. Now I am putting 2x on left side and I am putting some weights on the right side. So, there are 9 weights, 10 weights on the right side. It is losing its balance. So, I am putting 4 weights on the left side. So, this is representing an equation 2x plus 4 is equal to 10. In order to find out the value of x, I should be performing the same operation on either side of the balance. So, what should I do? Just think. Yes, you are perfectly right. If I remove 4 weights from one side, it loses its balance, and hence what should I do? I should remove 4 weights from the other side also. Now, I got an equation 2x is equal to 6, right? But my intention is to find out the value of x. There are 2 x's on the left hand side. So, I will make a 2 group here, that is 3 plus 3, 2 groups. If I remove one group from one side, it loses its balance, and hence I have to remove one group from the left hand side also. Now, it got the balance and we have found out the value of x, which is x is equal to 3, right. Now, there is a equation itself, 2x plus 3 is equal to 21. Now, in order to get the value of 2x, what should I do? I should remove 3 from the LHS. How do I remove 3? I will subtract 3 from both sides. If I subtract 3 from 2x plus 3, it becomes 2x, and from 21 if I subtract 3, what should be the answer? It should be 18. Now 2x is 18. How we did the grouping there? Similarly, you do the grouping here. 2x can be x plus x, 18 can be 9 plus 9, right? If I divide both sides into 2 parts, that is 9 plus 9, 2x is 9 plus 9, and hence if I remove one set here, that is if I divide both sides by 2, what happens? Yes, I get the value of x to be 2. This is how we solve any equation. Whatever operation we perform on one side, we will have to perform the same operation on either side in order to get the final value.
Wasn't that interesting? Now, you should also perform the same activity at home and solve these equations. Please note down 2m plus 3 is equal to 13 and 4 plus 3y is equal to 10. You please solve these by doing activity. Okay, children? Now, what should I remember when I start solving an equation? So, here are some tips for you. We can add same quantity on both sides of the equation without changing the equality. If you take an equation y minus 3 is equal to 7, you can add any arbitrary value for both LHS and RHS. For example, say I will add 5 for both the sides, but does not help me. So, what should I add then? I should add 3 for both the sides. Second rule is you can subtract equal quantities from both sides of an equation. So, we will take an example. I am subtracting 5 from both sides. Is it good? No. So I should think, what should I subtract? If I subtract 3, I'll be getting the value of y directly. So I'll consider 3. Third rule is, I can multiply equal quantities without changing the equality for both sides of the equation. And remember, it should be a non-zero number. It should be a non-zero number. Now, if I take an equation y by 3 is equal to 7, I can multiply that by any arbitrary value. But while taking an arbitrary value, I should always think what will yield the value of the unknown. So, in this case, if I multiply both sides by 3, I will be getting the value of y easily. So, fourth and a very important, I can divide both sides of the equation with the same quantity. Once again, let me tell you, the quantity can be a number or it can be a variable. So, similarly, if I take an example, I can divide it by 5, but that's not of any help. That's not of any help. So, what will I do? I'll divide it by 3 so that I get the value of y easily. Let us consider two methods simultaneously so that you will understand it better. Now, I'll take a simple linear equation, x minus 3 is equal to 5. So, what should I do? I should add 3 to both sides. But in the transpose method, what will I tell? I'll tell you to transpose that 3 to RHS. So, here if you add minus 3 and plus 3, it gets cancelled. Whereas here, what will I say? When minus 3 is transposed, it becomes plus 3. So, I get the value of x easily. One more example. Here we have x plus 3 is equal to 5. So, what should I do? I should subtract 3 from both sides. When I transpose plus 3 from LHS to RHS, it will become minus 3. Do never forget this. Plus 3 will become minus 3. And whereas in the balancing technique, I would cancel plus 3 and minus 3, right? So, I get the value of x as 2. If you have a multiplication like 3x is equal to 15, what will I do? I divide both the sides by 3, right? But here, what will I do? I cross multiply or I transpose 3 from LHS to RHS, and here 3 and 3 gets cancelled. I get the value x is equal to 5. In both the methods, we get the same value, whereas transpose method is a more simplified method than balancing method. So, we generally use transpose method in 8th standard. Now, let us solve some of your textbooks problem. First problem is 7m minus 9 is equal to 16. Okay. Now, what should I do? I should find out the value of m. So, I will be transposing minus 9. So, I will be transposing minus 9. So, when I transpose, I should always remember I am adding 9 to both sides, right? So that in the LHS, plus 9 and minus 9 gets cancelled. Okay. Now, 7m is equal to 16 plus 9. So easy. We added it to get 25. Now, 7 we have to transpose again, which we also tell it as cross multiply, so that 7 comes to the denominator. Therefore, the value of m is 25 by 7. One more example, very easy. Some of you are already telling it's such an easy thing. We will be transposing 3 by 7 to the RHS. You are right. When I transpose plus 3 by 7, it becomes minus 3 by 7. Common denominator we have. Therefore, 17 minus 3 will become 14 by 7. If you simplify, you will be getting the value of m to be 2. Why do we learn these problems? In order to apply these to our daily life, right? We have many daily life problems given in your textbook. There are problems related to numbers, there are problems related to age, and then geometry, and then ratios. So, these are some kind of the problems that are given in your textbook under the heading Applications of Linear Equations, which is a very interesting topic. First and the foremost, I would like to solve a age related problem. Very beautiful, and it is very important when you take up some competitive exams. So how do I think is more important than how do I solve? So let us take a look here. Whenever you come across with the age related problems, just jot down a timeline. Here is a timeline wherein I have given spacing as 5 years, 0, 5, 10, 15, so on. I have a boy here, okay, he is of almost your age, let me say 15 years. If I ask him a question, what was your age 10 years before, he would tell me it is 5, isn't it right? Similarly, if I ask him a question, what will be his age after 15 years, his age will be 30, right? So, this is a case when you know his age, but if you do not know his age, what you will do, you will assume his age to be r, you can even take x. Now, 10 years before it will be r minus 10, 15 years later it will be r plus 15. Very easy to write your data, right? So, with this knowledge, we will just move on to a problem. This is a problem given in exercise 3.2, question number 12. Let us read the problem carefully. 15 years from now, Ravi's age will be 4 times his present age. What is Ravi's present age? We have Ravi here. We do not know his age. But 15 years from now, we know he would be grown up. So, what we'll do? We'll assume his present age to be m, and after 15 years, definitely we have to add 15 to whatever is his age now. Therefore, we'll take it as m plus 15, right? But there is a condition given in your question, that is his age would be 4 times the present age. So, considering that, we'll write down the equation. It is 4m is equal to m plus 15. Very easy equation. Once you write down the equation, very easy to solve. So, we will be transposing m. 4m minus m will become 3m. 3m is 15. 3 we will be cross multiplying. So, m is equal to 15 by 3. If you simplify that, the value of m is 5. You should never stop at this stage, because they have not asked you the value of m, they have asked you Ravi's age. So, let me write it in terms of his age. So, Ravi's present age will be 5 years. If you even verify, after 15 years, he would be 20 years. So, 5 4s are 20. We are right. Now, we will take one more example from the exercise 3.2. Here is a question given on ratios. Let us read the question properly. The number of boys and girls in the class are in the ratio 7:5. The number of boys is 8 more than the number of girls. What is the total strength of the class? Ratio is given. We will just write it as 7:5. Therefore, we will write the number of boys to be 7a and number of girls to be 5a. But remember, there is one more condition given. The number of boys is 8 more than the number of girls. So, I will write it as number of boys is equal to 5a plus 8. So, 5a if I transpose, it is 7a minus 5a is equal to 8. Therefore, 2a is equal to 8. Now, a is equal to 8 divided by 2. Therefore, the value of a is 4. But should I stop at this? No. I am not supposed to find out the value of a, but I am supposed to find out the total number of boys and girls. Therefore, I will take it this way. The number of boys is 7a. So, I will substitute the value of a there. It is 7 4s are 28. Similarly, if you take number of girls, it is 5a, and then 5 into 4 is 20. Now, we have found out total number of boys and girls, it is 28 and 20. If you go for verification, it is so easy, 28 is to 20, and if you simplify, you are going to get 7 is to 5, which is right. Next, we will take up an example from geometry. Let us read the question. A base of an isosceles triangle is 7 centimeter. The perimeter of the triangle is 22 centimeter. What is the length of either of the remaining equal sides. I have just written a triangle ABC. It is an isosceles triangle. So, what I have done is, I have just considered AB is equal to BC is equal to A centimeter, because they are same. Whatever is the length, BC and AB will have the same length. Therefore, I have considered both of them to be A. Now, I know what is the perimeter of a triangle. It is the sum of all sides. So, I have just written it as AB plus BC plus CA. If I substitute, 22 is equal to A plus 7. When I add A and A, it is 2A. Now, what should I do? I should transpose 7 to the LHS. So, if I transpose 7 to the LHS, it is 22 minus 7 is equal to 2A. Therefore, 2A will become 15. How did I get 15? It is 22 minus 7. It is 15. So, A is 15 divided by 2, which is nothing but 7.5 centimeter. So, I should write the final answer. The side AB is equal to BC is equal to 7.5 centimeter. Right? Dear children, till now we learnt meaning of equation, meaning of solution of an equation, solving simple linear equations, and we applied that into our daily life problems also. Now, you should also try solving some of these problems at home. Will you? Solve the equation 4y minus 8 is equal to 13. Very simple equation. I know many of you are already solving it. And there is one more question. Two numbers are in the ratio 5:3 if they differ by 18. Remember, if they differ by 18, what are the numbers? Did you take it down? And what are we going to learn in the next class? Because this is the first session. What we will be learning in the next class? We will be learning to solve the equations having variables on both the sides, and then some applications of that, and also we will be learning to reduce the equations to linear form. Okay? This lesson was presented by me, Chandrakala. Thank you so much for your patience listening. Happy learning.